We're focusing our journey within our own business has been huge within the last 4 years. Certainly, as a group, we sell 1 in 10 houses in the UK. The new homes sector is incredibly important to the economy. It's an area traditionally that we felt that we could do more in. So over the last 4 years, we've really had a strategic plan to deliver. Part of that plan is about engaging in the industry. It's about brand awareness, and it's also about promoting what we do and talking to developer partners. The key thing about our presence here is there's a few things really. For me, it's about insight. It's about the shaping of thoughts, it's about the meeting of minds. And ultimately, the team that are here with me today are very much about understanding, taking in different perspectives, because all of the insight that we can gather certainly helps us when we're advising our clients as well. So it's a really useful forum for us. We're a national business. We have over 1,000 brands throughout the UK. We trade off 52 brands. For us, it's because we have got such a varied model. I think ultimately we are seeing a growth in the market, and obviously it's very well documented, certainly here at Resi, that demand is outstripping supply. Within the whole of the market, we do see continued growth. The start to this year has been an incredible strong start, as it has been for everybody. Has been a bit of a cooling in London, but overall our proposition for next year is we see continued growth. Clearly a number of factors that are going to influence that, possible interest rates or likely interest rate rises. MMR is clearly having effect, and certainly in the speed by which exchanges and transactions are happening. So I suppose for us we've seen a very, very different market, very, very different in the first half of the year. As we are at the moment, clearly we've had a more challenging summer. But overall, we don't see that the market's going to get any worse. If anything, it's going to grow. The reality is I don't think it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to continue to grow at a steady pace. That's where we see it. Well, I thought it was really interesting. It was, if I'm honest with you, an area that perhaps I hadn't thought about to the extent it was discussed, and the thought of maturer people rocking around in the large houses and the shortage we've got. It's clearly a social issue. It's clearly it will be very political. I would say the provision of housing that suits a more elderly generation today is far better in terms of quality and provision than it's ever been. And I guess it's at what point does a family or an individual choose that actually they wish to downsize? And some of it would be a forced decision, some of it would be a lifestyle decision. The fact remains that people tend to stay in their properties as long as they can. But I'm sure as the market changes, pension arrangements changes, releasing equity out of property, I think will be a key driver in the decision to downsize going forward. Certainly we've been very, very positive about what the government's delivered so far. I think it's definitely stimulated the market. From the planning framework that's been introduced, that's definitely had an effect. It's not perfect, but it's definitely improved things. Help to Buy has been transformational, I would say, certainly in terms of new build. I mean, we've heard today that's accounting for roughly 25% of all transactions. We know some of our customers we work with, it's 50, 60% of transactions. So continued investment. If you said, would you like to see the continuation of Help to Buy in its current format? Yes, we would. One of the key things about Help to Buy is it's put the smaller developers on the same playing field as the top 10 developers. You know, a smaller developer can have access to the scheme just like a top 10. We work predominantly with a number of smaller developers who don't have their own sales and marketing expertise. That's allowed us to trade off sites and joint venture sites very, very well because we've had that tool to use. I think the other area for the government to think about, or what we would definitely support, is obviously the whole theme about Resi has been about supply. There's no question against any tenure of house that demand is there. Yes, it is going to be tempered by interest rates. Yes, there are other factors that may reduce, but the overall supply of housing is critical. The key thing that struck me today was the the government land, the public land, and I suppose for me I'd like to see a bit more in terms of some clarity of how that could be released into the market and how quickly, because that will have a dramatic effect on house builders' ability to develop houses and communities.